Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special 6-inch super fan. Now, for those of you who don't know what this is actually an SMC fan that's been rebranded for the Canadian market as Super, which is a pretty iconic brand over here in Canada, although it's long gone. I think 2005 is when it went away, but many people here will remember this fondly and look back on it. So this is actually a Model 6DS, but like I said at the beginning, there's something special about this one, and that is that the motor has been upgraded. I put in a more, like a more powerful, faster motor in it, higher RPM. It's from one of those Honeywell turbo fans, one of the older ones. The fan had fallen and broken, so I took the motor and transplanted in this and this is probably going to get me some hate, but I think these fans kind of suck. They're not very powerful, they don't blow air very far, and they're kind of noisy. And putting a bigger motor in made it noisier, but at least now it outputs more air to kind of compensate for that. But yeah. Oh, and also, see, in Canada, we've got this thing, or we used to have this thing. The safety regulations on fan grills were very tight. That's why this has double the amount of slats that the equivalent SMC fan has. It's very restrictive, and on the back, it was pretty extreme too. Like this, and see these things? They were everywhere. So I cut them away to hopefully free up some airflow. It didn't seem to do anything at all except make the fan ugly, so oops. Oh, there's a little sticker on it. This is Super. That's not like an actual... This is from Humber College. This is not this. This fan has been through hell and back. I used this a lot as a kid. Even this thing is broken. It works, the adjustment thing, the knob, but it's cracked. If you pull it too much, you can see the crack getting bigger. This does not oscillate. It's too small for that. I do really like the cord on this. It's actually nice and long. It's nice and long, it's thin, and it remains flexible over time. It's not like, oh, hi, Rocky. Yeah, it stays flexible, even in the coldest temperatures, which is nice. A lot of cords these days aren't like this. They usually just crack if you try bending them in sub-zero temperatures. Feels like a nice quality plug. Also, one thing to note is that I have this bolt, or this screw and nut removed so that I could just open it for easier cleaning. I don't really get the point of this. It clips in pretty well without that. It's not necessary in my opinion. I mean, I guess it is if you have kids around. Anyways, let's test it out. So this is high speed. Much louder than it used to be, but it also moves a shit ton more air than it did before. Let's try low speed. Not much of a difference. And the reason for this is because the motor is very under stressed with this fan blade on it. It was designed for a much bigger fan blade than this. Not much bigger, but I think it was pitched up quite a bit. So the thing is, when you go into low speed, it's not exactly the RPM that changes. Like a motor that's completely unloaded that you switch to between high and low speed, the RPMs will be virtually the same. It's when you put a load on it. It's when you put it in low speed, the torque reduces, right? And since this fan blade is almost like having no load, the RPM barely changes. So yeah, having two speeds, not really. It's more like one speed with extra steps. Just cleaned this for the video. This thing had been through hell and back. It's still sort of dirty. I didn't do that thorough of a cleaning, but it's a lot cleaner than before, believe you me. But yep, this thing's been around since I think my parents bought this in like the early 2000s, and it's gonna stick with me till the very end. Just like that one sitting over there. You can't escape your fate, not in this house. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks, and have some fun under the sun.